Hi, everybody. Welcome to PDQ Live. This is our first show of the new year.
Woo! Happy New Year.
2025. So we're going to show you how to work less in 2025. Doesn't that sound
You just set your New Year's resolutions. Let's just set that bar a little lower and work a little less.
No, that's what every sysadmin wants. They want to work
I'm just teasing.
The least amount possible, right?
Yeah, of course.
We're going to show them how.
Okay.
I actually looked up last year what we did, and last year we were all about documenting and do this, do that. We're going to show you how to do less with our products this year. What do you think about that?
That's great.
I know.
I mean, there's some grammar and punctuation that needs to happen in that sentence to make it be what it should be, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, no, we're gonna do automation. We're gonna do cleanup, some redundant tasks that you have to do all the time anyway, but it's all going to be with Connect. Then Andrew's going to talk about some cool new things that are happening with PowerShell, because he loves PowerShell.
Yeah, in PowerShell
He's Mr.
land.
PowerShell.
Yeah.
And then we're going to make some predictions about what we all think is going to happen in 2025.
And jot these down because then you can fact check us at the end of the year.
Crap, so you mean I've got like 20 minutes to come up with a prediction?
Yep.
Did you not do your prediction yet? Oh my gosh.
I got time. You just said I had 20 minutes.
It's like herding cats with you, I swear. Okay. Should we start and connect?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I got to put down my toy. I don't really want... You better take it. Oh my gosh. I can't get rid of that thing. All right. 5 ways to work less. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, where are we going to start?
Connect.
Okay. So we're in Connect.
Okay. So, you know how you have those people... I was going to say I'm one of them, but I'm not really, who never restart their computers, ever.
Mm-hmm.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
You made a face. Do you or not?
Yeah.
Well, actually, your team does this.
Yeah, it's
you
forced.
Have this group.
Yeah, I know.
You force it. Okay, so how are we going to find out who these computers are?
Okay, so this is a way to use Connect to identify machines that have been up for a long time and then do something about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right.
So I am going to find this. Well, I thought of a couple ways to find this, and I think the best way to do it is to create a dynamic group. So I'm super clever with my titles, and I did uptime.
Okay.
Right? So you actually can just create a static or dynamic group and do uptime. Device name is not empty. Device uptime is greater than 1,000. Now, the hardest part about this was, what is the time? What does this mean?
Yeah, what is the integer?
It's an hour.
Okay, so it's in hours.
Yes.
Okay, so uptime is measured in hours here.
Yes.
So like if it was a day, it'd be 24.
Yeah, so I did have to reach out to Jerem, and he told me an hour. So that's
what'd you do
1,000?
I can't do that math in my head. How many days is that?
I don't know. I'll show you how I figured it out. I actually figured it out 2 ways. I logged into a computer and ran the command. I know, yeah. Because he took a while to get back to me, and we all know I have no patience. So I did that. But also, I figured out you pull the column in, and it tells you. So.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Bogdan, for doing the math for 40 days. Those computers have been online for more than 40. Wow. Okay.
I know. Well, it's Kelly's.
Okay.
And he doesn't, Kelly doesn't like to restart them. But look, it shows it right here. So it'll tell you.
Cool.
All right. So what do we want to do about that? Because, people don't really like it when you restart their computers. But I don't really care.
Well, contact IT.
I mean, I do. I'm just kidding. So there is a package that we made. We just made a reboot.
This is a really complicated package.
It really is. So you can do it a couple ways. If you just want to reboot it and say, suck it, I'm rebooting your computer, you can add a message and say, you have 5 minutes to hurry and save your stuff. Or you can do it the way that I know you would do it because you do full contact IT. You can automate it, right? So let's click on automation here.
Yep.
And I actually run it weekly. So let's click on this guy.
Okay.
I have it recurring. I do it at 12, not
midnight.
on Kelly's because he has things that he's interested in. This one is a static group, but let's say I wanted to change that and just do my uptime one.
Okay.
That's how I would do it. I would just
So you're just going to balance machines that are 40 days over.
Exactly. But I likely, what I would do, because I'm a chicken, is I would add a message and say, this is going to restart in 5 minutes, save your stuff. If I was going to do it during the workday, because I'm a chicken. But
yeah.
That's just a
message
nice
step
way to
first.
do it. Yeah.
Or if you're fancy, you could grab like the burnt toast module.
Okay.
And then use that to do a toast notification. I think internally we found a handful of scripts that other people have written, and we will prompt and let people delay and do some other fun stuff.
Yeah,
we could share that.
Yeah,
we could share that.
So pick your flavor. What do you want to do? But
yeah, maybe we should do that. I think internally in prod, what we're doing is it's if you're every 7 days, you got to bounce your machine. And then we allow people to defer. It like shrinks the amount of time that people can defer before it's like, nah, do you know what? I'm just going to do it.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so next common problem that I think a lot of people have is you're running out of space, right? So this one is looking at free space is less than whatever amount you're going to look for. So disk partition, blah, 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 equals this much. Okay, so now I have my group.
Yeah. So those people that just maybe aren't familiar with SQL. No. Let's stay there on the filter.
I'm sorry, go back. Pardon me.
So we're grouping these two things together where disk partition is less than 10% free and the drive letter equals C, right? So if you don't have that and clause and they're not together, maybe you might have like a D drive and E drive, something like that, that is less than 10%. You might get some like weird results where you're like, this isn't making sense to me.
Yeah.
So that second line there is very important.
Yeah. So once you've found the ones that are filled up, right, or you want to focus on, well, now what are we going to do about it? Well, so I started thinking downloads are kind of an issue, right? A lot of people don't go clean up their downloads. So we decided, Andrew and I, by the way, oh my gosh, it was so fun to watch Andrew get all grumpy and angry with PowerShell. It was one of my favorite things. I loved it. So Andrew made this package, the script.
Clean up your shiz.
Clean up your shiz. So here's a PowerShell package, or PowerShell script that we turned into a package to focus on downloads of specific users. So, but I'm going to say, users get a little cranky. Sure. So I would likely talk to the users before sending this out, maybe quick email.
This is just going to remove like items in downloads.
It is.
Right?
Yes.
Because that's generally like the most common spot.
Yeah, but we talked about this, like in my broadcast days, there are certain places where it fills up. So in Adobe users, local low, roaming, another place for a lot of large data to go. Yeah. So I might target that, clean that out. Just find the place where data goes that you need to clean up.
Preventative maintenance.
Preventative maintenance. So again, so now we have the package, we have our dynamic group. So what do we want to do with this? We're going to automate it.
Okay.
We're going to marry those two together and then we're going to automate it so we don't ever have to touch it, right?
Yep.
Easy peasy. Put these together.
Done.
Pretty easy, right?
Love it.
Don't want to touch it. But my favorite part about this whole thing was watching Andrew yell.
Well, I think it's because you started you're like, I want to delete stuff out of the recycle bin. And I
said,
that
one was a bear. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, that one wasn't the best.
Like, it's possible. It's in a weird spot. I've done it before. It's just weird. Recycle bins are weird.
Yeah. Well, and I started that like Tuesday afternoon. We didn't spend enough time on that one, so
yeah,
it probably can be done, right?
I'm sure it can be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. Let's quickly go to automations quickly. Can we?
Yeah.
And just kind of talk about things that are really easy to automate. Browsers, right? Really easy.
Yeah.
They update 7 times a day. Yeah. So
they're dead simple.
Yeah, I have one for every single browser. Why wouldn't you? If you don't have a browser on your machines, have a package, have one built. Do not have Firefox. Computers that don't have Firefox, install it. Make sure the variable is the latest. You'll always have the latest browsers.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. That's just a no-brainer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have that?
I don't know.
That one's an easy.
I don't know.
So.
You want to open one? Show one. Let's just show one.
Okay.
Maybe somebody's brand new on the show, has never seen it before. Show one.
Yeah.
Okay. So Firefox latest.
Yep. Firefox
so
latest.
We're going to attach the package, the latest flavor of Firefox, and the trigger's automatic. So as soon as it's there.
Yep.
That's all you have to do.
I have this targeting just on this group, but yeah you would change that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Target some dynamic group.
Easy.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, just go through and automate everything that you possibly can. Browsers are super easy. Just Rob wants a Brave. Oh, your face.
Yeah. There's the package library request form. I think it's in Discord at this point. Same thing as product. Like for every one thing we do, there's one thing we don't do.
Yeah.
Same thing as packages.
Yep. Okay. We are going to go to the next thing. So, and this is brand new. And we're going to talk about this in a couple different ways. Okay. So we're going to go to the vulnerability tab. This is our new thing. And we've talked about it a little bit before, but this is something we haven't gone over yet. So remember we just talked about browsers, right?
Yes.
And automating the way we did. But if you click on the vulnerability tab, you see right here? If I click on automate right here, it's going to immediately create a dynamic group for any computer that has this vulnerability.
Yes.
Now, Josh's answer is going to be, well, do it. Why would you never do this? This is great. I love it. Okay, so I might not do it this way because it doesn't give me the ability to create any exclusionary criteria if there are computers I don't want to do this to.
Not from this particular screen.
Not from this particular screen.
There's an additional step we have to show if you want to do that.
That's right.
Okay.
Go ahead, say your thing.
No, I was going to say, like, we can show the additional step, but you continue.
Yes. So I just want to point that out because if you have computers that you might not want to have this updated on, just consider that.
Yep.
You can, though, initiate this from where we just were and add that criteria in immediately.
Yes. So if you're going to start from the automations, it's where are you going to start this workflow from?
Yes.
Are you starting this workflow from a targeting perspective, or are you doing this workflow from an actions-based perspective?
Yes.
So bringing that here, for where we're at right now is an action-based perspective.
Yeah.
I see a vulnerability. I want to automate it. I just want it done. I never want to see it.
Yes.
Conversely, if I want to start from a targeting-based perspective, I'll create my group and set my exclusion criteria and then marry packages to the automation.
Yes.
So it's how do you approach this problem? Both ways will get you the same result.
Yes.
It's just how do you want to use the product to do it?
One's a little more cautious, and I have a story time for this, and because Josh is always like, well, why do you care? I used to, every time updates would happen for my on-air radio machines in the newsroom, every single time it would break the on-air advanced audio card, and 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. I'd get a phone call. I can't record my radio spot. I'm like, oh my God. I'd have to run into the newsroom. So I would not do this ever.
Okay.
Because
That's
I would
fair.
get that AM phone call.
Well, okay, let's still do it this way, and let's show how you could do it this way and then add exclusions after.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have one of these that's already set up, let's find one.
Wow.
Like the automatic Firefox vulnerability patching.
Okay.
Right? So if we come down to the group, we have to go to the groups is where we need to do this.
Okay, group, sorry.
Yep. So if we go to a group, right? So we're going to create any group will find we can show it. All right. If we come to the definitions here, if we add a group filter and where the device name does not contain, right, or does not equal, you can add this group filter to start excluding individual computers by name.
Okay. Yeah. So you can't do the group, but you can do an individual.
Yeah, by computers by name.
Okay.
So here's how you can get to like some granular exclusionary criteria. So you can still do the thing you want to do, but then you can come in after and you'd be like, oh, okay, maybe that on-air machine's name is Bob, right? Where device name equals Bob, or where device name does not equal Bob.
Yeah.
Right. Depending on how you want to solve that SQL problem.
Yeah. And I actually made a group called on-air computers too. So you can exclude it that way too if you want to. But yeah, just be aware if you do have those groups, come at it a different way, just like you said.
Yep.
Targeting versus, okay. Perfect. All right, let's go back though, because I do want to cover this. So some of these, you can just immediately go, oh yeah, for sure. I'm going to automate that and boom, I'm done. Easy peasy, right?
Sure.
Love it. Some of the other ones you're going to maybe take a look at, like let's come down to some of the feature updates or the Windows updates. I probably should have come on to some before we started talking about this. Talk about something, Josh. Say something smart while I go find this.
I mean, like, look, there's one right there.
Yeah,
you found it.
Here. Okay. Automate. So when anything with Windows 10, Enterprise 22H2, when I confirm this, it's going to create a dynamic group for any computer that has this. So let's do this one because this one we're going to be fine.
Sure.
Group is created. Done. Easy peasy.
So it created an automation and a group.
Yep.
Both.
All at the same time. So here it is. And it's going to be automatic. So it creates the trigger too. So I wanted to show that just because you want to be aware of what you're doing. The second you click that, it creates an automatic. So if you don't like that trigger, go back and change it.
Mm-hmm. That's the default behavior.
That's the default behavior, exactly. And then let's look at the targeting. See, dynamic group right here.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that, right?
It's a way to save yourself a bunch of work.
It's saved a ton of work. I think we covered all of our things, did we? Is that 5? Was that 5, Drew?
It's pretty close.
Give or take 1 or 2.
Yeah, we made it.
That was some good stuff right there.
We made it.
Nice job.
We made it. All right, there's 5 ways.
You just saved some lives.
5 ways. Okay, is it time for PowerShell?
Yes. Would you
PowerShell
like to
magic?
hear Kelly's PowerShell voice?
Yes.
Always.
PowerShell Pro tips.
I love it every time. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, that's Kelly's. Every time I join a meeting with him, he just kind of yells that at me. Thinks I'm going to teach him something. But welcome. We got some cool stuff. It's a new year. Got some fun PowerShell projects and PowerShell adjacent things to talk about today. I think the best way to go through this is I sent you some links, so maybe I will teach it to you all and show it to everybody else as we go through.
Okay.
But the first one we're going to look at is pretty sweet. It is, you might have heard of it, Josh. I think I might have mentioned it once before on the webcast, but this is a pretty cool little project from the former PM of Entra. So this is a sort of test suite for Microsoft Security 365 Entra environment kind of thing, which is pretty awesome.
Cool.
It's basically a wrapper for this thing called Pester. So it's just a bunch of tests. If you want to configure something like make sure MFA is enabled on this group, you can create a test for it. And then going forward forever, you'll know if something happens to that group or if there's some drift, configuration drift or things like that.
That's really cool. Yeah. So if you're already familiar with a PowerShell and you're coming into more of a security space and you're like intimidated by Pester or something like that, this is a great leg up.
Yep. And there's a bunch of like pre-built stuff, which is always a good kind of starting point. At least you can run that and see what's kind of bad. But yeah, this is going to be one of those things where you're either on a more mature IT team or this is going to be a little bit of an undertaking / project for you to grow this year.
Yeah. Love that.
Did you see the acronym? Josh is already in. Security is code. Did you see it? Did you?
Everything is code. Yeah.
That's right. I think people have maybe heard of GitHub Copilot a little bit. And, you know, in the constant push, they have now created a free tier. So if you're one of those people who you're not a full-time dev, maybe you're writing PowerShell once or twice a week, and you want a little bit of help inside VS Code, this is an awesome opportunity for you. If you rely on it too much, get ready to pay for it.
Yeah, because it's what is it? 2,000 code completions and 50 messages per month.
Exactly. So it's like a couple. It'll help you once or twice, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get a bunch of different models you can pick. That's cool.
Yeah, it's always fun to see those tools. The better they get, the easier our job becomes.
Yeah. All right. What is this AI shell?
So AI shell. So we talked about Copilot, and that's for VS Code. And that's one place that if you're like a scripter, you maybe are writing scripts in there. If you're not a scripter, you might be in the terminal running commands one at a time. And that's a fine place to be because Microsoft has AI shell. The PowerShell team has put this together, and it is essentially, if you scroll down a bit, you can see some sort of screenshots of what it looks like. But it basically takes your console, splits it in half, and gives you like an AI agent in there. I don't know if these GIFs are auto-playing. Yeah,
they're not.
There you go. Yeah, but basically like the window splits in half, and you have a AI assistant that you can ask questions to. And at the end of it, if you like the result, you can send it right to your terminal.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty nifty.
I'm going to do that.
All right.
Andrew.
It is free. And, you know, a lot of these, they kind of have that paid tier, but you can set this up with Olama and just kind of run things locally, which if you're into this kind of stuff, you maybe don't want to pay. Olama is a very fun and wonky thing to interact with. So good excuse there to have some fun.
It is.
I'm totally using this. I'm using this, and I'm going to write stuff and tell Andrew that I did it. But AI is going to write it. It's going to be amazing.
Okay. Yeah. It'll be
Right out.
It'll be yours. Powered by
Olama.
Yep, Olama.
Next up, we have PowerShell Hunter. So everyone loves a good security project, and this is one that's a little bit more recent that I've seen. It's not super fully featured, but one thing that I really enjoy about it is the 4104 event analyzer. And if you don't know, that is like the PowerShell script block logging. So you have to have that GPO configured, but this is a good way to sort of investigate it. It has some patterns that it's going to look for in the code to see if it's kind of script kiddie type stuff. But yeah, anytime you're able to like sort of sift through the 4104, it can be a little bit extensive. Something like this is going to help you out. I think there's also some cool AD stuff with this as well.
Yeah, that's cool for like an entry level hunt, especially like just like the Maester to show like, hey, you're familiar with PowerShell. Here you go.
Yep. Because like it's great to implement the security stuff, but then you got to kind of actually interact with it a little bit to make sure you understand what's going on. And if there were to actually be an incident happen, how would you investigate things? So this kind of lets you poke around and confirm how things are configured in your environment.
Nice. Cool.
Yes,
Those
sir.
some sweet PowerShell Pro tips. Loved them.
2025 is the year of the shell.
That's our new motto. Everyone's
Eggshell
motto.
The year of the shell. All right. Speaking of 2025.
Is it prediction time?
In 2025 predictions, I think it's time.
Okay, let's do it.
That was cool. I like that.
That was all Jake.
I like that, Jake.
Nicely done.
All righty.
Thanks.
Who's first?
It's a good question. Somebody forgot to download them yet. So as I race to get those,
Who forgot?
I probably still trying to find things for you guys to fidget with.
Oh, that's why the fidget toys are here.
Yeah. So as soon as I get these,
Just talk about something.
yeah.
Where's Brock?
Okay.
Shouldn't Brock be out here?
We can talk about Briggs' comment in the chat.
What did he say?
Once again,
Briggs?
2025 is the year of the Linux desktop.
You think so? Lightweight is happening.
So is that Briggs' prediction?
I hope so.
Briggs.
I hope so. Briggs' prediction, 2025, Ubuntu desktops for everybody.
Okay, everybody. Oh yeah, that's gonna go over really for real this year. This year it's really happening.
That's amazing.
I think it's gonna happen yesterday.
All right. Well, I came up with my prediction.
Okay,
I was
let's hear
teasing.
it.
Should I start with my prediction?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. My prediction this year is that Intel and their new GPUs is going to take over the bottom half of the market.
Oh, that's right. You did say that yesterday.
Yeah.
I remember.
And it will be the bottom half of the market. So let me clarify what I mean by that. Any of the like 50, 60 series cards that are coming out from NVIDIA, I think that Intel is going to start winning those with their Intel Arc. Hey, look, there it is right there.
There it is.
Because think about it, right? The latest Intel Arc, the B580, is 12 gigs of GDDR6 for $250.
It's crazy. DDR6. Look at how cool you look in your picture.
Look
Very
at that. That's
dark.
my Slack picture.
Look very dark and mysterious. Look at it.
So that's my prediction for 2025.
Are you ever wrong?
Yes, all the time. All right, Jake. Jake, what's your prediction?
Predicted that OpenAI adds generative music and video to their suite of ChatGPT tools. And right after I made this prediction, Brock sent me a link, or Andrew sent me a link that already, I didn't know, but music is already a thing. They're already doing that. So I should have just Googled that to find that out. But
you were in the know that you're vibing. You were like,
Yeah.
I know what's coming.
Or you're just really good at predictions.
okay, there's already some services that are doing it, and so I figured they're the number one service, so they're probably going to adapt it as well. However, the video is still up for, like that could still happen. So we'll see. Like doing generative AI video clips or video effects or something like that.
Yes.
But, I'm going to jump onto yours real quick because that starts to get scary. I still have friends in radio, and here's an example. So when a salesperson goes out and pitches a commercial to a client, they have a service now that all they do is they type in their copy points, and this AI generates a commercial within seconds, and they're pretty good.
Yikes.
And then what's been happening is they've asked the radio talent for voice samples. And I told my buddy, I'm like, do not give them your voice or you will never get paid for another commercial as long as you live, man. So, yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So they're just going to keep adding to their suite of tools,
Yeah.
I think.
It's just going to kill the more creativity.
Just Rob, I haven't heard anything about Linux and Smart Deploy. Only in Connect they've discussed it, but they haven't said anything about Smart Deploy.
Yep. All right. Brock is here, but is he anywhere near a mic? If not, I'll read his. All right. PowerShell 8 this year. Oh, and Microsoft will rename a product. At least a product. Yeah, that's
pretty much given.
It's pretty
yeah,
safe.
the second half.
They've probably renamed 5 this morning.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
That's like saying Google will kill 3 products this year. Uh-huh.
Brock just wanted to make sure he would be right.
Yeah.
So well done.
All right, Andrew, let's hear it.
All right, so AI poisoning. I don't know if that's a real name or something, but it's essentially poisoning the data that AI things pull from, whether deliberate or from just AI being so prevalent that it starts feeding itself. I think it's going to be more of an issue. Maybe we'll hear more about it this year.
I think that's a solid prediction.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's absolutely solid.
So basically, nefarious people are going to get in and mess things up for us.
or just trolls.
Just trolls. I mean, there's always a good side, and then there's always a bad side.
I mean, you saw, I mean, we poisoned the internal Slack bot. Like,
yes,
that was pretty
that's
funny.
true.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I think also just how much money it is, there might be business incentives to play around with some of those data sources that they're pulling from. But I don't know. Way above my pay grade.
Yeah.
Pretty safe prediction.
All right, Kelly. I'm excited for this one.
Are you ready for Kelly's?
I'm ready for
prediction?
Kelly's. I'm ready for Kelly's.
My prediction? Pain.
Okay.
For who? For what level?
All of us.
All of
Everyone.
us.
Everyone.
We're all going to be in pain.
And bonus points if you can tell me what movie that came from, actually, because that is a quote from a movie.
I have no idea.
My prediction? Pain. I'm waiting for the
Somebody's
chat
gonna
to.
get
Somebody's
it's
got to
be from chat because we're not getting that.
Somebody's got to.
Saving Private Ryan.
No, is it that? Yeah, IT Beard was really good at trivia.
Yeah.
It's probably from RoboCop or something.
No, not quite. Similar era, but
Similar
anyway, we'll move on.
Here's
Terry
Tara's.
Love.
You pray love.
That was it.
12 years a slave. Okay, here we go. This is Tara's.
Oh yes, I think with all the government
Oh.
cut downs, there's going to be a major cybersecurity event where the government gets
Well,
compromised.
you just got dark and serious
Well,
here.
because when I worked at the government, before they hired me for their IT director, they had another totally separate part of government subcontracted to do all of their IT. And I think something like that is going to happen, but for a big part of the government where they're like, shut you down, we don't even care. And they're not even going to realize that they do IT for another part. It's going to happen. It's inevitable.
Well, I was laughing, and now I'm just like, yep,
I know.
okay.
It's inevitable.
Thanks, Tara.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm here for you.
All right, is that everybody? Have we wrapped? Have we wrapped all the predictions? I'm curious, chat predictions. Curious to see what predictions are for tech in Discord too.
Oh, yeah, let's put them all in there.
Yeah, and
Let's do
I
it.
don't. The Dell comment about renaming in the chat was not lost on me. The Dell renaming scheme is painful.
Is it? Is it like the Mac thing?
No, yes,
Or-
but worse.
Oh, worse.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Anywho, thanks for joining us today.
Yes, and we're going to do games in Discord. We're going to play, Andrew's going to pick, we're going to play a Discord game.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
take a little break out of your day. Come play some games with us in Discord and just chill.
Just chill.
All
You
right.
don't want to work. You don't want to.
Nobody
It
wants
is
to work.
PDQ Friday.
And work less. Work
Yeah,
less. That was the
work
whole point. Work
less.
less, come play.
It'll be in the off-topic channel, Mike. So,
Phil got it.
is it Rocky
Yeah,
3?
it is Rocky
Yeah,
3.
Phil,
Okay,
go,
there it is.
That
Phil.
was Mr. T's line. Yeah, well done.
Nice. All righty. That's a high note to end on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks everybody for PDQ. I'm Josh.
I'm Tara.
And in the words of Mr. T, I pity the fool that don't watch our webcast next week. Thanks for joining us today. Please like and subscribe. Leave us your comments and join us later, right after this on Discord. We'll work less in 2025. Have a great week. We'll see you back here next time.